just did, and then they should be able to. They'll get a message if they're a follower, so
Oh, okay.
it'll just launch it,
Oh,
and
I see. I see what you're saying. Okay.
and a lot of times I have to like go on Twitch and check. Yeah, so it launched it, and we should be live. So you should, in a couple of seconds, you should see if you're following or you're on the stream. Oops, hang on.
Wyatt's got a second computer here that's got the stream going. So
Yeah, so it should have you.
Started.
Yep. And actually, it'd be good to know if they can hear you guys.
Oh.
I'm trying to figure it out, but sometimes because of the coming through a different tool, I have to figure out what's being captured.
Sure.
There, it might be that. Sometimes
Yeah,
my
we
phone
can-
will start talking. Let's see, can anybody in the chat hear me? Or can everybody in the chat hear us? This is an important question.
I have it on my computer and I can hear you talking in the stream.
Okay, can you hear the guests speaking, OpenSet? I might need to turn on the desktop audio for them to hear, or it's coming through this. It might come through actually through my microphone as well. Yeah, okay, good. You can hear them. That's fine. We'll just leave it that way. You guys can come through my microphone.
Haven't heard anything yet there.
So there's about a 10-second or something delay between when I talk and when the Twitch channel will hear what I'm saying. So yeah, there you go.
Yep.
So you're probably going to want to mute that because
we will.
Otherwise you're going to hear me twice and then you're going to get a little confused. Okay, so I have two guests with me today. One is Mark Edlund, who's another diatomist who's been on the stream before. They can't see you, Mark, so...
Oh, they can't? Well, I was waving at you, Jeffrey.
Yeah, that's fine. And his guest is Wyatt.
I'm a sophomore doing a research project on diatoms.
Turn this up a little. Maybe they can hear you better. And so today we're going to be looking at some diatoms from glacial potholes. Is that right?
Yeah.
And where are the potholes located?
In Interstate State Park in Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Okay. So for people who are out there in Twitch land following along, that's what we're doing. And this guy that's right here in front of us, that's on the screen for you, that's a star anise. And behind it, a little pinularia. These are diatoms. If you're not a regular follower of the stream, don't know what a diatom is, it's a type of algae that makes a skeleton out of silica. And the skeletons are characteristic, diagnostic enough that we could actually tell what species it is just from the skeleton, like you might be able to with a cat or a dog if you were able to see their skeleton, or any other animal. In this case, we're looking at a type of algae that makes it, and these are single cells, so everything is microscopic in nature. And you can also see in our field of view some of these little round things that are here with like craters on them. They're actually little holes, they're apertures. These are chrysophyte stomatocysts, which we often see when we're looking for diatom samples because everything on the slide is basically made out of silica, so opaline silica. And we're trying to get pictures of some of these star anise, right?
Yep.
What's special about these star anise?
Well, there's an abundance of them, and we found what we think is Starnius pecuni, but we're not exactly sure of its identity. And we're trying to get an identification on that and take more pictures of it.
And some, let's see. So that diatom that you're looking for, or that we may be looking at, this is a star anise. How do we be able to tell if we're looking at it?
The ends of this one that we're trying to track down are capitate, which means that there's a little pinch towards the end with kind of a bulbous end on the end of the diatom. So this is a species of Staroneus that we're looking at, but it's not the one that we were the one that's got us puzzled. But we can definitely take some images of these. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep. So right now I'm just doing some adjustments to the brightness and contrast. I changed the beam intensity, which is basically how big the resolution of the image is. And you can see it's making some adjustments to the brightness as it's building the image right now. So I'm going to just go ahead and take some pictures. This is an overview of the star anise, not the one that we're looking for, but a star anise that we found. And I can just push a button, and we'll get a picture started. This will take about 3 minutes to scan completely. We have some people in the channel. Let's see. This must be Anna. She asks, how many star anise can live in one pothole?
We're not exactly sure, though. We didn't do abundance in our study, but we did do relative abundance, and I can
Richness too.
and richness, and I can look at the relative abundance for star anise in pothole 7, which we're looking at right now, and it's around, like, what would you say, like, star anise, like 25% relative abundance
of the genus Staroneus.
Yeah, of the genus.
Let's see if I can get. Hang on a second. I'm just gonna play with something. I don't know if my camera is activated or not. It doesn't seem like it's showing. It's not a big deal.
We can see you here, and
oh, that's probably why. Yeah, it's the virtual camera issue.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's because you're looking at me. It's using Teams is using the camera. Yeah, that's okay. They don't need to see me. I look the same as I always do, except for my beard's longer and my hair's longer. You know, just imagine it.
You need a haircut. You need a haircut, Jeffrey.
I'm not allowed to get my hair cut. I made a pact with my daughter.
Okay.
Which was, I either had to dye my hair pink and my beard pink.
Oh my gosh.
Or I had to grow out my hair like long, like a foot long. And in retrospect, I think maybe I should have taken the pink hair and beard deal because that would have been over already. Yep. But I have grown out my hair before and donated my hair, so I thought, I can grow out my hair and donate it. That's fine. So nobody's seen me with long hair for a really long time.
I don't recall ever seeing that, Jeffrey.
Yeah, it was just like one little window for about 1.5 years. I grew my hair out, and then I cut it and donated it.
Was it gray?
No, that was back when I was in Nebraska. So, yeah, it's nobody here's ever seen me with long hair, and it kind of is freaking everybody out because I don't think they thought I had hair.
We'll send you some scrunchies.
Yeah, I probably could use some. At the moment, she's decided that it's okay to put my hair into rubber bands because it's long enough to like make clumps.
Oh, okay.
And so she's been. This is pothole 7, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is the star anise. And I'm just gonna call it SP1, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know what it is. Is there anything particular you want, like the ends, or do you just want some overview shots? Or you just want to look around some more?
Yeah, I think some overview shots of the Star Anise, and then if we can find that one special one with the
Okay.
capitate ends, we can drill in on that one in particular. Does that seem okay, Wyatt?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Let me change some settings really quickly, and then we should be able to sort of poke around. This is the same star anise, it looks like.
Yep.
This one.
Gosh.
Looks like a pinnularia.
Yep.
There's a question about how many star anise could fit into a pothole. I don't know if oh, this one looks like maybe it's.
There we go, right there.
Oh yeah, right.
Ooh, no, what?
That's. Oh,
That looks like our friend, isn't it?
yeah, that's our.
Okay. So
Yeah,
there's a couple
well-
of these right here. There's one that's an external, it looks like, and it's an internal.
Nice.
Well, I'm just gonna move up to the external. The internal looks like it's got a bit of the girdle band sticking into it. So,
Nice.
well, I'm sure we'll be able to find some other views as well.
Yeah. That messy.
Yep. 310. I don't know, maybe 310? Sorry, I'm rotating it around to 45 degrees for us. So I can just inch a little bit closer.
So it'll rotate on that stub on the carousel?
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Is the stub individually rotating, or is the whole thing
No.
sort of on a floater of some sort?
It rotates and then it moves it to the position where it corrects for its position. So it can...
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's actually why I picked this SEM when we were looking at the SEMs.
Yep.
Because I was like, oh, that's such a pain in the butt to like trying to rotate something out on the outside edge and turn it, and all I have to do is click a button. You guys in Twitch can't see this, but you guys can see this little panel, right, Mark? That's a stage control.
Yep.
There's a
Yep.
button there that's just a checkbox says keep field view. That will rotate whatever's in the field of view, just keeps it right in the field of view. So it like will rotate and move it back to the position where it was, which is pretty cool because it's just doing a bunch of math for me, right?
Yep.
And then I don't have to do it. So, but we've used that to. Here. We've got this 3D models of stuff that we make from Diatoms, but the reason this was so easy for us to make, they can't see, but you can, is that I could just rotate the diatom and take pictures, and then I made a 3D model out of it. So because it'll just stay in the center of the field of view. This is
Cool.
looking okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to
really.
switch our beam intensity and our
It
speed
almost-
back.
Yeah.
It almost looks a little bit torted. Does it look like that to you, Jeffrey? If there's one-
What do you
the
mean? Like
valve-
twisted?
Like the valve is twisted just a little bit?
It's up off of the surface on this side because there's some junk under it right here.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I think that's probably why it looks that way.
Okay. I just was,
That would be my guess.
okay.
Let's see. So we'll just do a 7.7 and I'll take a picture.
Jeffrey, when you got this microscope, did a salesperson, a technician come out and give you training on it, or was it mostly just sit down and beat it up yourself?
So they gave me like a quick like training session, how to do basic things on it.
Yep.
And then they also gave me like I don't know, like a certificate that I could use to go to their training school. But
Sure.
what I did instead was I just took some of my samples that had diatoms in them, and I spent about a month, like every day, like tinkering with stuff until I could make diatoms look good. And I
Yeah.
could figure out what settings were like the right settings for different speeds. And so that was just like, it was in the summer when we first got it, and a brand new SEM that I could use as much as I want. So you know what I was doing? I was just here till like 10 o'clock every night, like on the SEM. Carlin was right with me. We were just looking at diatoms for hours,
Fun.
And then once I got the settings where I was happy with them for diatoms, I was like, well, I could probably figure out for other things, like if people need to use it. But primarily, I only take pictures of diatoms. So, um, but like once you kind of understand the principles of what you need, then it's pretty easy to use it for whatever purpose. So these are kind of interesting. They've got
I was seeing that.
like spacing
Yeah.
in
It's
the
like
striae in
irregular.
the center. This is like a hyaline area that
They have
normally the
to-
star anise have like a staros, which is this center part that is hyaline and internally usually thickened, and then these areoli usually are in rows all the way across, but this one seems to have like patches where they're filled in.
Yep.
It's kind of interesting. Not something I've seen before. I have some weird star anise from one of the rivers that's around here that live in colonies. Is that normal? Face-to-face colonies?
No. So they grow in a band?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting. There's a pinularia that does that too. Like something like Pinularia cardinalis or something that also grows in like band-shaped colonies like that.
Yeah,
Um,
I hadn't seen anything like that before, and I thought maybe it might be something new, but I took a bunch of pictures of it. Um,
was it growing like that in culture or on auger or in the field?
it was from a stream. I just took the sample from the stream directly in, and it was growing in these weird bands, and I was like, what the heck is this thing? And then it took us a while to actually get a view where we could see what the valve face was, because they just like it's a colony
yeah.
of stuff. And I was like,
Yep.
I don't know what this is. And we got some tilted views. And then I was like, oh, it's a star anise. And then I was like, wait, it's a star anise? So I thought maybe I had a student that I was working with like 3 summers ago that we took a bunch of pictures of it. And then I thought maybe Sylvia wants to come to the diatom meeting. My daughter Sylvia wants to come to the diatom meeting, and Carlin told her she could do it, but she has to present.
There you go.
So we
that'd be
may
a good
have
one.
a middle school star anise poster at the next diatom meeting, so that Sylvia can attend. All right, let's do like one little close up of this center area here, because it's got
Yes.
weird
Yeah.
stuff, and I figured Mark is definitely going to want to see that up close.
Oh yes.
Let's see. Let's see if I can get it into focus up close.
So, you got a newer technology scope than I have used. How are you focusing?
There's a control panel in front of me that has like a wheel, and there's one wheel for magnification, and there's one wheel for focus, and
Yep.
then the just a slight inconvenience is that like last week or whatever, before I've used this last, I replaced the filament. And so
Yeah.
this is actually the first time I've run it since I replaced the filament, so it maybe be a little bit, the stigmation may be a little bit off. I was
Okay.
tinkering with it, but I didn't have anything that was like really good to tinker with it.
Sure.
But so I may be tinkering with it a little as we're taking pictures, but this seems okay.
Yeah.
Um,
But you don't when the old scopes I used, we always jacked up the mag to do the focus.
yeah.
You zoom in, focus, and that do the same thing maybe to adjust the astigmatism as well.
hmm
With get some nice circles to look at. But you seem to. I don't see you doing that. Are you just doing it by eye, kind of, or?
Yeah, I just do the focus pretty much by eye, but
Okay.
when I'm really trying to get the magnification to look good, that is what I do.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if I usually find like a stephanodiscus where I can see the cribra, and then I zoom in on the cribra, and I have this
Got it.
tiny little pores, and I make them into perfect spheres, and then I go back out. But once you set the stigmation, then it's just focus. It's just the focus
Yep.
knob. So like once it's set, you're basically set for a while. And but it's it's close enough right now.
Well, this is interesting. But when I look at this picture as it's coming out, those look like occluded,
Yeah.
really. Those are blocked. They don't look like, there's not like just junk sitting in them blocking them, but those are
Those are
covered.
yeah, those are actually
filled
Yeah.
in.
yeah, they're filled in.
That's cool. That's going to be really helpful in teasing this thing apart.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that in a star anise either.
Yeah, that's.
So I didn't mean to ignore chat. I've been sort of ignoring chat. Let's
Oh.
see. OpenSet wanted to know, why hasn't the local glacier government fixed the potholes yet? Which is a good question.
Well, okay. So these are not like road potholes. These are glacial potholes. So they're formed by glacial meltwater drilling into like the basalt below to form like potholes, like holes in the rock surface. So they're not road potholes, they're natural occurring potholes by glacial activity
Why? Can you give
that
us
are
can you give us a sense of how deep they are?
they're pretty shallow, like only like a few feet deep for most, and then there's one that's like maybe like 50 feet deep that we sampled, pothole 5 we called it.
And what's the like circumference or roughly the diameter or something like that?
There's some, I'll pull up my chart here, but it ranged from an area to like 254,000 centimeters squared to like at smallest like only 500 centimeters squared in surface area.
It's highly technical. Yeah. So OpenSet wants to know if my hair is long enough for the kiddo to braid yet. I did have a braid in it yesterday, for 2 days basically. I had like one little braid, but the braid was like right here. Well, you can't see, but it was right in the front of my face instead of like being someplace comfortable. So I'm probably gonna get a braid put in someplace on the side or maybe in the back where it's not like right in my face. So, but maybe I'll get the camera going eventually. Let's see. Good questions. So these are from ancient glaciers, right? This isn't anything. This is Minnesota, so it's like Laurentian glaciers. So like this is at the last glacial maximum kind of glaciers that would have swept through Minnesota area. Well, we're retreated from there maybe like 13,000 years ago or something, right?
Yeah.
Would have been,
Like 10,000 years ago.
10,000.
maybe 10 to 11
Okay.
in this part of the woods, in
Yeah.
the world. Could you describe the variation in the size of these things?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Sorry, I stepped out to grab a book on Staroneus.
Oh, good idea. Is
I
it
wanted to see
Lauren
I wanted to
Ball's?
see if I could see any other species that might have that crazy opening in them.
Is it that
weird, that weird occluded really around the central there?
Is it Northwest Diatoms? That one?
Yeah, that's which one I grabbed.
Figured.
I don't know if this one's got Bakune in it or not. That's
So normally when for the audience out there, and maybe a little for Wyatt, when we take pictures of things in the SCM, we want like an overview shot where you can see the whole diatom and then usually the central area and one of the ends, like a close-up, so that you can see what's going on in places that are a little bit different, than the rest of the diatom. And it's sort of the middle part nobody cares about, or they care less about it maybe, where in between the central area and the apices. I'm just gonna try to tweak the beam intensity a little here. and then maybe play with the stigmation just a tiny bit.
Well, we pulled out, so this book that we grabbed is the Northwest Diatoms Volume 4 by Lauren Balls, where he describes and reports a whole bunch. It's just on Staroneus alone. But he did describe this one species that seems to be the closest thing to what we've been looking at here, which is this Staroneus pecuni. And the first thing I wanted to do when I grabbed it was to look at that center of the diatom, and did I see that sort of those odd occluded areas where there really were blocked. And it doesn't, at least the population that he shows from Montana, doesn't show that.
Yeah.
So he's getting it from Montana, USA. But it's, it's more widely distributed in Montana.
I think we've seen that diatom here in Indiana before.
Okay, yeah. I know it's on diatoms.org, so.
Yeah, the only problem is I don't remember if I was working on material from Indiana, or maybe I work in Montana, so it's possible that I might have been looking at Montana diatoms.
I'm gonna go grab one more book. I'll be right back.
Mark's got a giant library of diatom books.
So I was going to ask Jeffrey, have you ever seen like those occluded openings, like areoli, before?
Well, they occur on lots of different genera, like
Okay.
they occur. Lots of diatom species can have like openings that are covered completely, and but I haven't seen them on a star anise before, which is that's what's interesting about it. And also right through the central areas only is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But we'll probably be able to look at, when we look at this internal view, I can also zoom in and see what's going on there. Like, it could be we got one sort of freak looking, diatom that didn't make areoli, but it's also completely feasible that that's a diagnostic character, so.
You have any chance to track down any images of Weissflogii, Jeffrey?
I haven't looked yet.
Okay.
I
Keep it in the back of your head.
To figure out where it would be in my catalog. It's on this computer, so I thought I would poke around in there. But but also theoretically, I could just go back out to the Wabash and check again. It's right outside, basically.
All right, we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. I mean, do you have some material? You could have just sent me it, I guess.
It's interesting. The best sample I have was a sample from a ditch in Iowa, but all I have is a slide. And it was from one of Stormer's classes, and it was just like, what's that doing here?
It's a weird place for that thing to be.
Yep, and it was a
salty ditch.
Near dominant in the sample. I got it, where else? I have it from one other place too that I do probably have a sample from. But
let's go look at this thing internally. So this is an internal view.
Oh, look at that.
I don't know.
Come on.
Hang on. This one's kind of grimy.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I
guess
don't know.
I don't.
Yeah, it also
But
looks
it,
a little bit like they might be not
yeah, it
completely.
sure
Yeah.
does. Interesting.
Yeah, they look like. I mean, these ones on the ends are very clear.
Yep. Huh. Well,
So
that's wild.
this dark band in the middle is the Staros, and
Yep.
the cross shape is from. This is the sternum, the place that the raphe runs through for people learning diatom taxonomy. Along with us in chat. And then these little rows of dots are the striae that we're talking about. You can see there's rows of striae here. And here you can see some sort of light depressions. And then there's gaps where there are filled in areoli, or what appear to be filled in areoli, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. It's
Just take that picture and we'll.
this one. That's a cannon. Yep. So that's not a cannon. It's different. So
Sometimes hard
different
to tell
place.
what's happening in Twitch while you're streaming and staring at an SEM. But there's about 20 people watching us.
It's I think
Yeah.
a very different Staros where it's hourglass shaped.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Let's see. Maybe I can.
It's good. Oh yeah, goodness. Jeffrey, I'm looking through Bart Vandeviver's Staroneus book on Arctic and subantarctic regions.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bibliotheca Diatomologica Band 51. And I did find one other Staroneus species that has also is showing some of those sort of occluded areas in the central part of the diatom. It has a very different Staros and doesn't have. It's got it's got rostrate ends that are pulled out, not capitate ends like this one does.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Staros itself is actually kind of hourglass shaped, not just a parallel band going across. So
Yeah.
anyway, but it looks like it's not absolutely anomalous in the genus Staroneus. So it looks like it's shown up in a couple, at least in this other species as well. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Silly.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can make stuff happen. I remember how to be a streamer. I used to do this. Yeah.
How long you been doing this? 6, 8 years now?
We started during COVID, basically. So
okay,
I
I
think the
wondered if you
first time I started streaming was in the fall of 2020.
Yeah.
I'd been there was a person who called a Tiny World who was like one of the few microscope streamers who had thought to put like regular microscopes on Twitch, and they interviewed one of Sherry's PhD students, Melina, and I was friends with Melina, and because we're science brothers and sisters, and and she said something about it, and I was like, "What's Twitch?" I thought it was for gaming, and then so I watched her stream, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." There's like you can put the microscope out there and just like show people what's going on, and yeah, shout out to Protozoa Princess who's here in the channel, another streamer. And so then I just thought, I wonder if I could do this with the SEM, because it was like shortly after we had gotten the SEM, and then I just thought, oh, I definitely could do this. But the harder part for me was actually like learning to put myself in front of a camera all the time, because I'm it's not that I'm shy, but I'm not like a extroverted person for sure. Yeah. And so it was like a challenge for me to figure out how to like entertain a room full of people that, you know, weren't science people.
Yep.
So, if it's science people, that's not hard. You guys are easy, especially diatom people. You're super easy for me to entertain, you know? But trying to get to talk about like diatoms to a broad audience and then have to learn how to, you know, it's actually really good for science communication because I learned to explain things to people. And then when, you know, David has me do a little thing for the diatom training summer thing that you used to teach, he gives me like an hour or an hour and a half to like talk about the SEM and diatom use,
Yeah.
and he's like, you nail it like every time, and it's like, well, this because it's easy for me after talking to people who don't know anything, you know, like I come back to talking to people who know something about it, and then it's like, I can definitely explain this to them. So I think it's good for general science communication because it gives you a chance to sort of directly present science to people.
Yep.
And so once I started doing it, immediately sort of saw the value in it. And at first I was just kind of trying stuff to try it, but yeah, so then it was, I started making streamer friends that were people who were also trying to do stuff on microscopes, and that's actually how I met Janai. So
Oh, okay.
Pacific Plankton, another streamer, and
Yep,
and
yep.
OpenSet, who was here in the channel for a little bit, another streamer who occasionally streams from a microscope. He's a musician as well, and he does like a combined microscope plus like visual effects plus like music. So he'll put like crystals and grow them on the microscope, and then he's got synthesizers and stuff. He's playing his own music
Oh, wow.
in the background, and sometimes reads poetry and stuff. It's actually really interesting what people do with Twitch, and but you know, it's kind of neat because he also talks about the science and you know, uses it for a combined purpose. Um, and you remember Shelley? So Shelley also gave a talk for the Diatom Web Academy recently, right?
Yeah.
And
She was at the Indiana NADS meeting too,
yeah,
right?
so she came because I met her through Twitch, and then I was like uh, talking with her mostly through Janai, and then basically she started streaming, and like we made good friends, and she still hangs out occasionally in my Discord, but like all those connections are actually kind of interesting because it's like, you know, started streaming, that's what happened. So Anna said, I'm the only reason to have an account on Twitch. Well, see, that's a compliment, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So lots of interesting science happens on here, and I've met a bunch of people in the science community that are streamers, and um, they're very friendly and helpful people. And you know, some of them are streaming like every day, like it's their job, doing science communication. So
Sure.
this is, I think, the first time this year that I've streamed, or maybe the second time this year that I've streamed. I really haven't been doing it very frequently.
Really?
The spring semester, I was just really busy,
Yep.
and you know, when I get busy, my professional career is more important than, you know, having fun. So this is just for fun for me. But well, my professional career is also sometimes fun, but well, most of the time, I should say. But you know, so like I set it down and pick it back up pretty frequently. But in the summer, it's usually a little easier for me to stream, and I like to usually have students with me that are streaming. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have one. We have Wyatt here this time, right?
Yeah.
So
There you go.
I usually have like a co-host, and they do all the diatom like SEM work, and I just kind of sit around and chat. That's actually much more comfortable for me because I can follow the chat and interact with chat a little bit,
Oh, sure.
and then I can just ask them questions like it's an interview a little bit more. So, and then I don't have to focus on like doing three things like chat plus a discussion plus taking pictures on an SEM at the same time. But I think I still have the skill. I think I can still do it. So this is just an internal view of this star anise that we've been looking at. It's a type of diatom, and it has this structure across the middle here, a little bit of thickened silica called a staros. The name staros, I think, because it combines with the sternum to make a little cross shape. Is that right, Mark?
I think I'll buy that,
Okay.
even though we call the thing in the middle the staros, the thing that goes across. But
Yeah, yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me that that was sort of what was being thought of when they gave it a name. Let's see. Yeah, can we get pics of the center and ends of this too? Then I think, did you do the
I
center
did the
already?
center, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
I
think
was
you
gonna
did. Yeah.
zoom in on this. Well, both the ends kind of have girdle bands, sticking in the way.
Now, what is this other diatom sitting
I
right
think
there?
that might be like
This thing,
lemnicola.
it's multiseriate, so
Back off your mag just a second so we can see it. Sorry.
lemnicola probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. Yeah, okay, all right. All I could see was the very end of
I
it.
didn't mean to upstage you by just yelling out the name. It looks like
That's okay. That's
Lemnicola
okay.
hungarica, right?
What's really impressive, and you may not have heard it, is Wyatt knew what it was.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
the first. He was the first one who said the name. And,
Yeah, that's good training right there,
yep. There you go. Taught him something.
All right, we'll zoom back in, see if I can get this
Yeah.
thing in focus. Well, we're just really looking at this is the girdle band, which normally wraps around the outside of the diatom that we're seeing a little bit of. See if I can. I'm unhappy with the specimen more so than anything. This particular specimen.
Got a gunged
Yeah,
up.
it's a little gungy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's in focus. So
Yep.
I got that. You can see
Yeah,
also
good.
there's a little bit of stigmation going on because that lemnicola
Yeah.
is not perfect. And
Yeah.
actually, maybe I will just go fix that real quick.
All right.
See if I can fix
You can
something.
see a nice helictoglossa on the end of the internal end of the rafe there.
Yes.
Yep, that's nice. So that's this little area right there. That
Okay. Okay.
helictoglossa means spiral tongue. So it's like, so right now what he's doing is he's trying to fix the astigmatism.
I'm putting
So-
glasses on it.
Yep.
I'm trying to make
think
these
when I-
circles into circles.
When I was about 27, I was diagnosed with astigmatism, and then you have to change you're like you have weird curvatures in your eyes, and they have to change your eyeglass prescription. And he's just adjusting the prescription on the SEM.
Yeah.
It feels so much better to have it be circles.
And you do it by looking at things with little circles, which is really nice because a lot of diatoms are often covered
Built-in
covered with little
circles.
circles like that. And so they're nice. Otherwise, you have to go get a special stub to, put in there to do it if you're looking at, something goofy.
Yeah, those are pretty big holes, but they'll do for now. At least they're not. They were like diagonals. They were making me crazy. So, all right, good enough. Yeah. So, typically in an SCM, if I'm trying to calibrate something like that, I will try to find the smallest little holes I can, and then zoom way in on the smallest holes. So, like if we went back and look at those little holes on the pinularia, that was on the other stub, or was that on this one? But if I went back and looked at those would be great, right? Because there's a whole bunch of little tiny holes, and then I did the zoom in, and then they would be like, super calibrated for really fine differences between them. So there's some comments from got to put Twitch into your contract, like giving classes. Well, I don't really think the university could afford to pay me anymore. So, we're at a place where the university is not probably going to be like, why don't we just give them some more money? Let's see. Surtois says, I'm not a scientist, but an artist in France who discovered that channel also while COVID, and I completely fell in love with the pictures of Diatoms attack. That's me, and how gorgeous Diatoms can be. Today I'm just super happy to watch you all being thrilled by new discoveries, and you made me love science and what it brings to all of us humans. Thank you for your work, and thanks for sharing it with your viewers.
Yay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So
That's great to hear.
it's always, you know, the community in Twitch is really the most important part. Like, and I think one of the things that you can tell is the people that come to my channel whenever I stream, because it's pretty infrequently right now, it's still the same people from like years ago that show up. You know, it's lots of the same. I mean, we get new viewers, but there's still like people who've been following this channel, you know, for a very long time now, and and they still come back whenever I pop up, so that, you know, they haven't forgotten. And you know, a lot of times we're just looking at diatoms, but I do have some plans. One of the students that's a friend of mine here, Valia, is a pollen expert, and we previously did some streams where we looked at pollen, where we took the plant and then we shuffled the pollen off of the plant directly and then onto a stub and put it right in the microscope, so you could see the plant, you could see the pollen coming off of it, you can see it go right into the microscope, and then we look at it on the SEM. So we're probably going to do a couple of those streams sometime soon, but it's kind of cool for those sorts of science outreach stuff.
Do you coat the pollen then?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. We just take
sputter coat it
straight off of there, put it into the sputter coater, put it straight into the SEM.
And is there any adhesive on your stub when you do something like that, or no?
Yeah, those ones we would just use this carbon tape, and we don't.
Oh, you do have a little piece of carbon tape on.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So for the construction that we have in these, so Mark can see it. I think the audience can see it. They're these little silver barrels, and those I dry the material on the little silver barrels, and they're actually aluminum, but I dry the material for the diatoms on the top of those, and then I use the tape to mount them onto the pins. But if I was looking at pollen, I would just get rid of the barrel part and put the pollen right onto the tape.
Oh, okay.
So, but I like to, you know, everything, I like to just have it be as close to the whatever I'm mounting it onto as possible, so I don't have extra layers of stuff in the way.
Sure.
Let's see if we can find one. So this is the one we looked at before, and this is the one that we looked at this time. You get this kind of like geography thing going on in your brain when you do a lot of SEM work, where you just kind of like remember where all the diatoms were that you were looking at. Yeah, this is a different one than we've seen. I just wanted to see if it also had like parts that were occluded. It does seem like they are.
Yeah.
Let's look.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less occluded on this one.
Yeah.
But interesting, the girdle band thing there. We're probably seeing the.
Yeah, there's some in here that they look like they're occluded. Here too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Actually, yeah. When you cleared it up like that, boom, it shows up well.
Yeah.
Good.
You can see. It seems to be real.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me play with this a little bit. Intensity issue. Yeah, there's some people in the chat talking about how long they've been following. So Protozoa Princess has also been another streamer, but has been following us since 2020. So
nice.
6 years. There we go. just take that. Did you say butter coater? Well, we don't use butter to coat any of the samples. We use gold, but it does make them look buttery, and smooth.
Is that what you would do coat with? Is just gold?
Yeah, ours are just gold. We
Okay.
don't use the
Okay.
gold palladium, or I think I might have a target that's silver, but I don't use it
Yeah.
very frequently. Only when we're looking at something where somebody might be looking for gold
Yeah.
or lead, sometimes, because they're pretty close on the, elemental periodic table. But you can coat them with any metal. I think it's probably just that gold's got really high conductivity. So
Yep. I think the one we had at Michigan was gold palladium.
yeah,
We were almost doing.
yeah, that's what we always used in Nebraska as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Protozoa says she's not actually streaming anymore. She's drawing microbes, still drawing microbes, and also Protozoa Princess has made a game that's on Steam. It's still in the open stage, but you get to drive around as a little microbe, and I played it a little bit. That she just gave it's like a temporary version of the game. It doesn't cost anything, a demo.
Okay. Do you know what it's called?
Well, she knows what it's called.
Yeah.
I probably could look it up on my Steam
Okay.
account, but Protozoa Princess, if you want to put that in the channel, feel free to. Cellscape, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I remember playing and gave her a little bit of feedback about it. But it's kind of like a cool game where you can move around as a little protozoan.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, she said she's gonna add diatoms to it.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see. I still haven't added diatoms yet. I wanted to ask you about the oxygen thing. Is it still a case in soil where it's dark? If you go farther down, if it's waterlogged soils, then there's still going to be an oxygen issue. If it's normal soils, they probably are aerated fairly well. So it depends on what the soil type is. Like if it's like a wetland, those soils are anoxic typically. If it's like your yard, the upper part of it's usually fairly well aerated. But if you're going to use like edaphic settings, like a soil, there are diatoms that live in those settings in particular that are pretty well established as like soil diatoms, like Hansia, for example. So if you wanted to be like accurate, we could definitely talk about that. This is external view.
Ooh,
Just zoom out.
good round two on this one. Is it external or is it internal?
I think
it's
that's external.
External has collapsed on itself inside.
Yeah. The
Okay,
girdle
that's
band's
what-
just pushed up around
Okay,
the
that's
outside.
why it looks so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
Okay.
external.
Yep. Oh yeah. Look at the ends. Yep. Okay. Sure. When I looked at that center area, I thought it was the girdle bands had collapsed inward on it, but it's the whole valve has probably has collapsed inward.
Yeah. I think the two valves have pushed together and the girdle bands are just falling into the valve face, which happens pretty frequently when we have both valves. Yeah, that looks okay. It's just stopping to get it. Gotta check to make sure everything looks all right, Or take a picture. Oh yeah, if it's in the soil, they probably aren't producing oxygen, except for right at the surface, right, where there's light. There's there's got to be some. Most of those Hansia and things, they're probably like sleeping most of the time, and then they probably only wake up when it rains. Would be my guess. I don't know. You know anything about that, Mark?
Uh, with the soil forms or
The
what?
soil diatoms, basically,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, the ones that are living in soil. I know when it rains, like the my driveway's
Hmm.
full of Hansia, right? So like,
Yep. I think a number of them will kind of surround themselves with a sort of, they'll sort of almost make like a little cocoon of soil particles around them where they just sort of dry out and just hang out
hmm,
um, in there. Um, but they seem to be able to do that. It must be an environment that's enough that they can keep from dehydrating, to the point of death. But there is definitely a soil diatom community that's out there. We actually thought that a number of the things we would be seeing in this pool would be that stuff, but it's surprising there wasn't that much Hansia in the pool.
yeah.
Um, some little pinnule areas that we might expect.
I saw the
Um,
luticola somewhere.
yeah, we had luticulus, but again, not
Yeah.
not the numbers that we would have, expected.
It
Yeah.
the aerial diatoms vary by pothole. Like this pothole 7 is deeper, so there's has the less of those soil type diatoms, but like the upper potholes we studied did have a lot of those soil diatoms.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if that's because the walls are so steep in the on the edges of the potholes, or maybe because they're just so shallow, a lot of stuff is blowing into them.
Yeah, I wonder if they actually, one of the things we never did was like throw a temp logger in them to see what kind of daily swings they have in temperatures.
Mm.
We did some studies of potholes along Lake Superior, and these things would change. They'd be 50 degrees at night and be 90 during the day in the full sun. Just huge temperature swings that we were seeing in them, which I think is also something that will help select for soil diatoms as
Mm.
well.
The temperature. Mm. Let's see. Let's see if we can find another internal view.
Yeah,
As long as we're
you
poking
got
around.
you got you got great distribution on this stub, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
It's just no, I mean it's like, man, there's everything's very nicely spread apart.
Yeah, I know the
But
guy who put this stub together. He did it earlier today.
oh, he did,
Yeah,
huh?
he's pretty good at
So,
this stuff.
so you dried it down today?
Yeah, yeah. I had
Just
I
air dry or heat?
evaporated.
Just
There's
evaporate.
a slide warmer underneath it, but yeah, it's
Ah, got it,
evaporated.
got it, got it. Okay,
But
cool.
I I rinsed the samples a little bit, just
Okay.
because no matter what we do, even if people send me clean stuff, there's usually a little bit of clay in it.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
like, when I put it on the SCM, usually the first time I do it, I think this is too clean. There's no way there's any clay, and there's always clay in it. So, I did it. Oh, look, you got a little teratological deformation going on.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
classic
oh,
kink in the, well, that's a Eunocia, but
Enosha, yeah.
classic little kink in the edge of the towel.
Yeah, we had a number of those types of things, um, of Eunoshas that were wacky like that. I'm not being judgmental. They were just funky looking. They can be that way, I promise. But can you put an image in the chat, or is that impossible on the Twitch channel?
Uh,
I
if you have the image, uh, you have an image?
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. Go to your,
Yeah, I'll
just
try and do that.
take a little screenshot of just
Oh, if you
that side
send it
over
to
there.
me in Teams, I can probably post it. so they can see it
You
in the
take like a
channel.
screenshot of that,
Yeah.
of just that box.
Well, I bet I could just.
Oh yeah,
Copy it.
copy and paste it. Yeah.
Let's see. I want to. This is our guy, and I want to rotate
Ooh,
the stage.
internal.
Yeah.
Looking internal to me.
It's a clean
Yeah,
internal.
sweet.
I want to rotate it about 40 degrees, maybe 35 degrees.
Oh, I was guessing 30, but you go with your gut, Jeffrey. You've been running this bad boy.
Oh,
No, what did you put in?
35.
Use. I'm impressed.
This is the game I play when the students are trying to figure out like I'm like, you need to put it so it's corner to corner, and they're like, what should I change it to? I actually did the math in my head because it was at 330, so I made it 5, so it went all the way around 30 plus 5. But it always freaks them out when I just get it right on the first try. So
Oh, I'm impressed. How's the center? Oh, it looks nicely occluded.
yeah, I think we got the same thing going on. I think
Awesome.
Yeah.
we're looking at a feature. Let's see. I'll fix that. Yeah, I think everything is.
Oh, look at how occluded that is. My, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my.
Well, now they're gonna have to wait. Well, I guess you can see it at the top.
It's
a little.
starting to come out. It'll show up.
Yeah, thanks for. We got a raid while we were talking. It's our friend Boba Binks. Boba Binks. That's half Boba Fett, half Jar Jar Binks, and they brought in 6 or 7 people with them. And Boba's a streamer, does art mostly, but also some games.
Okay.
And he draws people's pets for them and then paints it.
Oh, neat.
So if you have a pet and you like to have a portrait of your pet, that's done by an artist. But Boba also has been following the channel forever. So
Oh. You still have a boxer, Jeffrey?
we have a pit bull currently.
Pit
That's
bull.
Iris, and but she's like half pit bull, half goblin. So you know,
Wears a cape around the house, or what?
sometimes she turns full goblin. You know,
Ooh.
like sometimes it's like she's partly goblin. Sometimes she's fully goblin. Most of the time she's goblin our hearts. You know.
Mhm.
But she's a handful.
Neat.
She's usually on the bed sleeping at this point.
It's cool.
But yeah, everything in here is definitely occluded.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You see all
Love
these
that.
pores are covered, and you can see these ones are partially covered.
Yep. That's neat.
So this part right here, for the audience who wasn't here when we started, is the Staros, and this genus is Staranese. And if my bot works, I could type this thing into chat. Staranese. Yeah, and it'll pop up like this with Diatoms.org's guide to
Oh,
Staranese genera. Also, you'll note in the bottom corner there's a thing that says proceeds donated to Diatoms.org, and Mark here is one of the founding creators for Diatoms.org. And I think this year I gave them $250 or $300. So just all the proceeds from last year
Nice.
went to Diatoms.org.
Oh, thank you for doing that,
And,
Jeffrey.
everything from the stream basically for the last year and a half is just going to Diatoms.org to help maintain the site.
So good.
Somebody in
This is-
chat wants to know, why is occluded good? Well, it's not good or bad. It's really just helpful for us
Different.
for identifying this species as being probably unique, or maybe unique, or at least easily identifiable.
So when we compare this to other species of Staronese, we don't see those occlusions very commonly. If you were just joining us, we A little bit ago, I was looking through books at the same time Jeffrey was running the SEM and trying to find other examples of species that had that, and we only found two that of the many many dozens of Staroneus species. So,
How many species do you
no,
think?
I didn't look. We'd have to.
How many species do you think there are of star anise?
Should we guess and then look it up?
I bet it's more than 100.
Yeah, I would think so. I'll guess 162.
Wow,
That's my guess.
that's very specific.
I know. I had to pick a number. So.
It's like the Price is Right. If I go over, that's bad, or this is like just closest
Yeah,
to
you
it.
got it. Yeah, yeah. Go under. You're gonna say one. You're gonna play that game.
I gotta bid low.
One.
I'm gonna bid one. No, 210.
All right.
We're gonna use algae base, or what are we using?
Yeah, here I'll pull up algae base in my world here and
I mean, I think Lauren brought in like 60 or something just in the, just in that book.
oh here algae base.
380 is what Anna says.
Is that what it is? You're faster than me, big time. Wow.
Some of those are probably not real species, you know.
Yeah.
They're probably
Just
like
there's 300
synonyms.
whatever. What'd you say? 360? Is that what you said?
380 is what Anna says.
380?
Yeah.
Okay.
Protozoa Princess, yes. I have all of the 3D models that we've made in our lab are available to be printed. And I'm pretty sure I put the link in my Discord somewhere, but I can send it to you. I can send you those models. Some of them were made by Joe Mohan. This one is actually done through Agisoft, which is like a 3D imaging software tool that we used SEM images to actually make. But the other ones, I think he used some sort of modeling software to actually build it. But this one was actually built with like using many
Images.
70 images at different angles, and then basically use that to create shape from motion, basically what they call it, where it renders the shape based on the different angles. And so like when you go to Google Earth and you click on three-dimensional, what it does is like the satellite flies over the Earth and it takes a bunch of pictures from different angles, and then it figures out what that object looks like in 3 dimensions. So software does the same thing, but with diatoms in that case.
Beautiful picture, Jeffrey. This one's interesting because it doesn't have any of the girdle bands still hanging on.
Yeah, we don't have junk in the way. You can actually see
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah, it get much easier to see where those occlusions are.
Yep.
So,
And it's very
that's
obvious
wild.
that
Yep,
it's occluded
yep.
here and here,
Yep, yep.
where you can't see the striae, and also I'll get a nice view of this. Probably get a nice view of one of these ends for us.
Yeah, for sure. Beautiful.
Should be good. My husband just got into his 3D printing and he bought a resin printer. Those are nice, and apparently can make super highly detailed prints. Yeah, this one that you can't see that I keep showing Mark and Wyatt is resin printed as well, and it's very nice.
Is it solid, Jeffrey, or is it hollow?
Yeah, that's a solid
Piece of
hunk
resin.
It's actually very sharp. Like the
I
spines
bet.
poke me in the hand when I pick it up. Orange Shoe wants to know, this is a question for Mark. Let's see. Do we know how fast diatoms can evolve into a new species? Here, I'll make Mark answer that, even though I have some answers.
Yeah, I was going to say Jeffrey's got some answers because he's actually looked at things. I mean, evolution is a process, and our interpretation of species is a kind of a human concept. So the diatoms know exactly what their species are, and it's us who are trying to sort them out. Um, I would say that we could. Hmm, I'm curious what answer Jeffrey's going to give me. I'm going to say that it would. I would say you could probably pull it off in a few hundred to 1,000 years if you wanted to. If environmental conditions were changing to a point where a lot of genetic mixing wasn't occurring among populations, and you could force something like that. I would say that would be my sort of guesstimate. So,
Yeah.
Jeffrey?
Well, I mean, again, it's about where you draw a line, right? So
Yep.
it's like lawyering more than anything else, right? It's like, well, this thing is purple and this thing is red and something in between is magenta. So like, how do we figure out when it's done evolving? I mean, it's not done evolving, but how do we figure out when it's a species? And I would say like evidence from what I've seen in a couple of examples where I feel like something's evolved and I've been able to see it evolving through a core. It's it's starting to evolve very rapidly, and then like from the beginning of the core to the end of the core, it's usually a couple thousand years, where that thing seems to stabilize again. But one of the issues that we see is that a lot of times diatoms, that I've looked at where we're trying to think about their evolution, this problem is they create this like flock of things that are all kind of similar, but they all have something that's a little bit different. So like I started from my very first diatoms I ever looked at, which were what is today called Lindavia intermedia.
Mm-hmm.
But they had these just like all these characters that I couldn't figure out which one was the real character, because like every lake you looked in, they had slightly different ultrastructure, and probably they're all species. A purist might come along and separate them, but I haven't done that yet. So you know, right now they're not species, uh, but the but that's problematic because you have this thing, this like clump of things rather, and how do you figure out what's a species and what isn't, right? It's just like really challenging, um, because the characters that are there are sometimes just sort of slightly different, and then you have to figure out like what's enough to separate something.
Mm-hmm.
We had this issue for some of the stuff that we looked at in Tanganyika, where we have um, all of these diplonies that are very similar that Itzi and I have been working on, and they all have like a characteristic that almost no other diplonies have. And so then we're just like, well, they're clearly different from everything else, but like how different they are from each other starts to become challenging sometimes. So, yeah, I would say thousands of years is probably where we could distinguish them, but it's like people who really look at this at a granular level. I mean, how do you tell when it's different enough?
Yep.
Is a hard it's a hard line to try to find a boundary for, and all the things that you think might be useful, when you really start to look at them, maybe not so useful. Like you, people just think, oh, why don't you just look at the DNA, right? Like that's an easy way, but that actually doesn't help at all, because things can be kind of different from each other genetically, but not different enough, and then you still have to draw a line somewhere. So some more questions. Uh, what are you reading? Oh, that's from Anna. This is like what books are you reading? Um, well, I mostly read fiction, and I just finished a book called Between Two Fires. That was a book by Christopher Buhlman, and it's very funny, very interesting book about the sort of historical fantasy about characters living during the time of the Black Plague. Mark,
Yeah.
what are you reading?
Oh, I'm reading the chat stuff.
Oh, I meant like what books are you reading? You're reading
But
novels?
what books am I reading? I read uh I want so I read books that I find in little libraries in the neighborhood. That's right. That's my book stuff. So
Yeah, cool.
and usually I read mindless crime novels,
Sounds
which
good.
one of the more intellectual people in my neighborhood when I was driving my bike by with a bunch of books to put back in that I had finished, he looked at the books and he said he called them grocery store novels. So that's what I read.
Sounds all right. I mean, the whole
Yeah.
point for me reading like fantasy and science fiction is just escapism, right? Like
Yep.
I don't want anything that's like what I do. I want something that's like lets me just separate from reality.
Yep.
So,
Right now I'm reading a Tom Clancy novel.
oh,
So
that's good.
which again I got out of a little library.
Wyatt, what are you reading?
I I mostly read like nonfiction history type books
History.
and like relating to like diatoms. I've been reading like a book called Microcosm
Mm-hmm.
about E. coli and just the history of the research into microorganisms
Hmm,
over history.
There you go.
cool. I've never seen that one in my little libraries. And I've never seen a diatom book in a little library either. I kind of want to have one there sometime, but
Well, you could put one in there.
I could put one in there. You're right. I could. I could put the children's book we wrote. I should do that.
Yeah, it's a good way to distribute your.
Oh, that was a nice specimen, Jeffrey.
Yeah, this
Oh, here's another little Staroneus.
is it a star anise? I guess it could
I,
be. Yeah, I guess it is.
yeah, it could be a pre-Staroneus.
It's got junk on its face.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna judge it because I have a beard and there's usually junk on my face, but I got it carefully contained inside my beard. You know.
Care.
What's this? What's this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a phytolith.
Oh, yeah. So another silica thing. Cool.
This one?
Yeah. Looks like another internal. Yep.
Yep. But you want to look for something different? Because I feel
Yeah.
like we've got this thing kind of.
I think we do. Yeah. I'm uh I'm feeling it. Yeah, we could what uh where's the orthocyra? What sample?
Orphocyra, that's
What sample was that in?
I think like 4 and 5.
What samples did we send you, Jeffrey?
One,
Yep.
sorry, 7, 3, and 10.
Was it 10? There's 10 have a bunch of Eunocia on it.
10 is the Eunocia teratology.
Oh yeah, let's look at Eunocia teratology on 10, please. Oh, look at this.
Hang on, I gotta fix my stigmation.
This is good. Oh man, there's a what Jeffrey's honed in on here is the genus Pinularia, which is characterized by having these multi-seriate striae. So the striae are made up of many dots aligned in little rows like that. And this is perfect for him to adjust the astigmatism of his scanning electron microscope.
I just gotta turn them back into circles.
Yep.
Alright, they're circle enough. There we go.
You can see how you burned it a little bit too.
Yeah, this does happen.
Yep.
We weren't planning on taking a picture of that. We're going
No.
to 10.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
could.
That's one of these.
So you click on that thing and your scope just backs off and then turns the whole turret around.
It
And
doesn't back off at all. It just
oh, it,
rotates
it's
it at
got
the
a
height.
it's got a good enough working distance. I guess I can watch it. Did
Yeah,
did the turret turn?
Yeah, yeah. You
Oh,
want
it
to
did.
see
I
it?
didn't. I could. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Oh, son of a gun! Look at that.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah. It just rotates around.
Now again, the scanning electron microscope that I spent most of my time on had you could put a single stub in it, one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, all the photography was done with film.
Yep.
So,
We had
great.
the first SEM that I used had. Oh, here's some teratology. The
Oh,
first
yeah.
one I had a
Oh,
Kodak.
yeah.
It was Kodak film,
Yep.
and also had. Oh, or is it just like a diet? Is it just a Unosha that's wavy?
Well, it could be, but we saw a lot of this group that looked really funky. So let's
Um,
scan around and see if we can find any.
and you had to like move the thing with a knob that actually moved the tray inside the SEM. You know, like
Yep.
calibrated X and Y direction. Like, so
Yep.
you had spent the whole time with one arm like over on the actual like instrument,
Yep.
and working on your arm strength. Yeah, this is another one of those.
Yeah.
It's like W-shaped
Shoot,
Unoshas.
they're broken, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, we had the one that had Polaroid film, and it was interesting Polaroid film. I remembered it was between $3 and $3.50 per shot to shoot
Mm-hmm.
the film. So you really set up your scope carefully before you hit the button. And
Slightly W-shaped.
yep.
Wow,
But
that is weird.
it was funky because it would get you would get a positive print and a negative print out of it.
Hmm.
You get a, I'm sorry, yeah, you get a positive and a negative that you could use, and then if you needed to print it, you would of course print the negative.
Yeah, this is a weird Unosha.
Yeah,
What's happening right there?
that's the Labiate process right there.
Oh, yeah, there's the rim of Portula. Yeah,
Yep, yep, or Rimo, yep.
I see. Yeah, and this is like a kind of a weak W shape.
Mm-hmm.
You want this one?
Sure, you can take a shot of that. Well,
Let's see. I need to go like. Sorry, math in my head.
42 degrees clockwise.
Yep.
What did you pick?
40.
Oh!
Pretty good.
Nice, nailed it. You gotta tell me what you're actually, are you typing a number in
Yeah.
somewhere, or what do you
Yeah,
what
yeah.
do you do?
Up here in the rotation field, you can see that, right?
Oh, right there. I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, it said 60 was what it
And
was
you
set
oh
to.
and you say,
I
oh, you're
typed
doing a
20.
little bit of math and
Yeah.
then you click clockwise or counterclockwise
Yeah,
there.
so forward is add number, clockwise is, sorry, counterclockwise is add number, clockwise is subtract numbers.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know why.
That's yeah.
But I just know which way it turns, and then I just do the math in my head.
Yep.
So,
And again, what is that? Is the stub turning then when you do that?
yeah.
Or
Yeah, the stub's
it
turning.
is, okay.
The
Okay,
whole,
the
the whole
stub actually.
carousel turns and recalculates its position.
Okay, got it. Okay, all right. Yeah, our old single stub microscope had 3 controls. It had, X, Y, and then a rotate button,
Hmm.
and then a tilt, of course, too.
Yeah. You can tilt in this one, I just usually don't.
Yeah.
I usually just look for diatoms that are
Tilted.
already tilted, yeah.
Yep.
Uh, Anna asked, did I like Between Two Fires? I did like it, and I would recommend it. It's good. I liked Christopher Buhlman's other books, maybe a little bit better than that one, but I think it was good for an early one. Uh, the Quiet Potato asked me, does my SEM, is it capable of EDX mapping? Yeah, it has an EDX mounted on it, but currently our EDAX is not communicating perfectly with the computer that they gave us, and I don't know why. Something to do with the IP address changing, but we paid for a technician to come fix it, so that will happen pretty soon. I'm not sure which day that was. But sometime before the end of the July, they'll be here, and then we'll be able to do it. But the problem is I can't stream the EDAX onto Twitch or anywhere because the EDAX computer is not connected to the internet, just the SEM, like the normal SEM computer. And because it's two different computers, I don't have anything installed on that computer, and it's actually not connected to the internet. So it's just connected to the SEM.
Explain to the world what EDAX is.
EDAX. So when the scanning electron microscope uses like a gun that fires electrons down onto the sample, and when it hits them, what it does is it knocks some of the electrons out of the original material, and when it knocks out an electron, like we all have an idea if you've had a chemistry class like sometime in your life, the sort of shell models of an atom. And if it knocks out an electron from a shell, like the lower shell or one of the medium-sized shells, that electron then goes, out into the chamber. Some of them go wherever, but ideally they come back out into the chamber, and that's how we're getting our image. But the electrons that are at a higher shell then move down into whatever the lower shell is where the electron was moved out of, because they go from a higher energy state to a lower energy state as they move closer towards the center of the atom. What happens is it gives off energy, and it gives off energy in the form of what's called characteristic X-rays. So X-ray is the type of energy that it gives off, and the X-ray frequency that it sends off is diagnostic by which type of atom and how much energy is lost. So which shell it jumps from and how much energy is given off as a result of that. And it uses this the X-ray values. That sensor then captures the X-rays that are coming off of the material, and it says, oh, I see, you've knocked out these electrons from this shell, and it tries to figure out what element it is as a result of that. So the characteristic X-rays that are given off basically tell it could be one of these couple of different elements. And then, if it gets enough information from a bunch of elements that are, giving off characteristic X-rays, it can make an assessment of what it thinks the likely material is. Now, for us, it's not super useful because I look at diatoms and they're made of opal and silica, and so it's giving off silica and oxygen and water molecules, so hydrogen, and then it's also giving off aluminum, which is what the stub is that it's attached to, and gold, which is the material that we sputter coated it with, and then there's not a whole lot else in there, right? So I just get the same elements every time. But if there was something weird that was in our sample, like a mineral grain, I could hit the mineral grain and then it would tell us, oh, that is probably this. Like if it's biotite, maybe there's iron, right? So it can use that to give us a sense of what's the mineralogy of whatever we're looking at.
Jeffrey, was that was that an option on the SEM, or was that something that just kind of came standard with the SEM?
We bought it. Our SEM has a bunch of ports, and the ports basically can be modified with whatever you want to put in there. So, like, if you had an interest in looking at like cryo table, like a frozen surface you wanted to put on there, or you can get micro manipulators that you can
Sure.
look into the SEM with, for example. So if we wanted to, we could put something else. We have some extra, well, chamber opening portals, but since I share the SEM, like our department is a geology department, and there's actually
Yep.
people who might use the EDAX for elemental purposes, then this one's a super W.
Oh,
I don't know. That's like
I like it.
350 maybe. I don't know. Sheesh. Uh, it's okay, I guess. I'm maybe a little.
We'll take it.
A little
Oh, that's a
over-rotated.
wild looking.
Yeah.
That is a crazy looking tome,
Great.
man.
Yeah. So because I share it with geology people, and
Sure.
I'm a secret geologist, occasionally we might want to look at things by their elemental composition when we're not looking at diatoms. The geochemist that's in our department, Dr. Latimer, for example, we've used it to look at like lead in soils, or lead in some old bullets from like a gun range. We were trying to figure
Yep.
out if they had lead in them, or lead with paint. So we could use it to figure out like a little bit of composition. And previously we had a guy here who did marine microorganisms like coccoliths, and occasionally we'd run into things like acantharia, which are like, they have like interesting chemical composition to the shells. So in those instances, it's nice to have an SEM where you can look at the mineralogy and be like, oh, this has got, sulfur in it or something, and sort it out. Pretty infrequently for me. Occasionally I do work with some people that are looking at soils, or they're looking at minerals, and they want to look at something chemically. So the mapping tool that they were asking about, what it does, it actually like takes the picture and shows you where the elements are coming from. So if you had a bunch of different minerals that were next to each other, for example, you could tell which ones were dominated with iron or whatever.
Jeffrey, if you're going to use the EDX, does it, would you have to use it on uncoated samples?
Yeah, you just get gold
Yeah, that's
as
what
a
I figured.
byproduct, and so we just use it anyway. You just ignore the fact that there's gold in your sample.
Oh, I see. I see.
It's like, yeah, well,
You just
there's going to be
blast- you just
gold, there's going to
blast
be
right through it.
aluminum, right? Because the stub's made
Sure.
out of aluminum. So
Oh, I suppose.
there's some things that you just assume it's there.
Yep.
But we do have some interesting stuff that's going on in some samples. Chad, Dr. Yost, who's here, wanted to use the EDAX, so he actually has become highly proficient with it. He took a bunch of courses and training on it, and then we couldn't get it to work after he got his classes. So he's probably going to be pretty excited when I tell him we're getting it fixed.
Okay.
And then I still probably wouldn't be able to stream from it, but because it's on a different computer, and it's not hooked to the internet, so I have to get an IP and something like that from the IT department here. But yeah, so, but it will map out, like it'll show you a picture and then show you where the elements are coming from, which is pretty cool. Do I have to clean dust off the SEM? No, so that, we're in a sort of very clean lab here. This is an old classroom. That's why my lab looks like it's a massive room, because this actually was a classroom, which we turned into a lab. Which is funny, because a lot of times people have their SEM sort of stuffed in a closet. And here it looks like, I park my bike over there, you know what I mean? Like in the corner, so.
Are you on the ground floor?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've got carpet under my SEM, which also people freak out about. But I was like, I think it actually keeps the vibrations down a little bit.
That's what I was wondering. This is a wild looking diatom,
Yeah.
friend.
That's crazy.
Um,
It looks like a funny hat or a mustache.
yeah.
You know what we could do is we could put a mustache on the mustache.
There you go. Just put a nose on it.
I don't have
Cute.
nose. I do have eyes.
Oh, there you go.
Somewhere in here. Let's see.
I'm
Where the
curious.
googly eyes are.
I'm curious
There's
if
the
we're gonna.
googly eyes. There we go.
So
Unlock.
where is the Rimmelportula on this thing?
Put a little googly eye right there. Put a little googly eye right there. Yeah, there we go. You should be able to see that on stream. If we could put a mustache on the mustache.
There.
There's double mustache action. 2 mustaches.
Double stash.
At some point, you guys sent me something you wanted me to put on the screen. Where did that go?
Well,
did you not?
I
send
tried to get it to paste into
That would-
Twitch, but it just wouldn't work.
Could you paste it into the Teams?
Oh.
And then I could just put it up on Twitch.
Let's see. Chat. Let's see. I'll go to chat. All right. I'm going to work on it here.
Yeah, I get you guys doing all my work. As usual. Just shop it out. While I put mustaches on things. This is a W-shaped external. We had the internal.
Oh,
right?
Cool.
Before we had.
We had an internal that was not as W-y. But,
yeah. Maybe a little smaller version of the same thing, or maybe it wasn't the same. That's a crazy W. Alright, so let's see if what else we can find. Fix the brightness a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one. This one's not as W'd. Oh, where'd it go? I clicked and it disappeared. Oh, here it is. Ooh. I don't even have to move it. This one's just good enough. Wow, that's weird. I guess it's more of an M. I didn't think about that. Right? This is the ventral side, right? Yeah, this is the ventral side. That's the Rafie.
Oh, with the dip in it's on the
But it doesn't have like a ridge. It's got like an indented. Right? Am I right, Mark?
Yep.
I'm not losing my
I
brain
think
here,
so.
right? I'm like, is that right? I'm pretty sure should have it on the ventral side.
For sure. Yep. That's the way
because I see there's a
the
line.
Rafie's hook. The Rafie's hook
Rafie's are
ventral
here,
there.
and there's the line.
Top one, you can see it. Yep.
Yeah, you can see right there the Rafie.
Can you?
What do you want?
Yeah. I'm curious if you can pick up the external opening of the Rimmelportula on one end or the other. I don't know which one it'll be on.
I think I saw it. Hang on.
Did you? Okay. On upstairs end? Okay.
No, maybe not. Yeah, I don't see anything. In the other one, it was like right here.
Copy.
It was like right on the edge.
Yeah, I get it, Jeffrey. I just figured out how to send an image to the Twitch, or not to the Twitch.
Send Orphocyra.
Oh.
Oh yeah, this is that guy.
Look in your
Okay,
account.
hang on.
What sample?
Download.
I don't know if I sent him the right sample.
You didn't send them the one that this was on.
Are you mad?
Okay, hang on a second. Image.
6 for that meeting.
There we go.
And we got to find
This
that's
is
a weird.
This is the diatoms that we're looking at right now. Here, I'll just put this over here.
Oh, on the Twitch stream, go to Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it shows up.
It's
Beautiful.
Unosha 9.
Yeah, number 9. How many people on the Twitch stream got that joke? Number
Is
9.
it a prisoner?
Number 9. What?
Is it the prisoner? Oh, no,
No.
it's a Beatles song. Okay.
Beatles song.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if you were doing I'm the New Number 2, you know, like that's the TV show The Prisoner.
No, I was doing Revolution number 9.
Yeah. This looks okay. Let's do this. Do that. It's not going to get any sharper.
It was like 4 or 5.
You send me
6.
something else.
Yeah. What samples did we send you, Jeffrey? 1, or
Nope.
10,
10,
3?
7, and 3.
10, 7, and 3. Hold on, check your counts on 7.
Pie Potato wants to know, do I have an XRD? I do not have an XRD. Munosha. Yeah, it's an M.
Don't have any of
That's
that.
a lot. Hello.
Sakura.
Where do you keep the archive of colorized SEM diatoms? On the right display. Those are on my Instagram.
No, it isn't.
Squints a
Yeah,
lot.
that
Those
is
are all
not.
on my Instagram. I think every one of them, or almost all of them.
Yeah, it's not.
The Diatoms Attack one, not the other one.
Darn it.
What happened, Mark?
Oh, we had one more funky diatom that we were
Sample you didn't
debating,
send?
and we didn't send that sample, and it's not super duper common in the thing. I'll show you.
Well, you can send it, at a later date. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. So here it
Force me to stream again, It'll be
yep,
fine.
force you to stream again. It's an orthocyra.
Oh,
I just sent it in the Teams chat again.
is it a weirdo?
It's got a big blank area in the middle of it.
Well, we only saw the blank area in like a few individuals.
Yeah.
Why
I
does it
went
only
back
have
again
2?
and looked at it. It wasn't there.
So,
I thought we were only supposed to have 3 Carina Portula, not 2.
oh, sometimes you can have 2 and 4 and 3s.
Oh,
And
I guess I've seen a 4 before.
messy group.
What the... Oh, that is an interesting one, though.
Yeah.
The striae around the outside are actually pretty organized.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see what we can do. I think we need to spend a little more time with the sample, see if we can find some more stuff. Jeffrey, this is here. I got a tiny bit of good news to share.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember, a couple months ago, I contacted you about a proposal I was submitting,
Mm-hmm.
and it was I'll say it was recommended for funding, but that doesn't get you the funding. I still have to go through a little more processes.
Oh,
But on Monday, I have to essentially testify in front of some legislators about it, and hopefully they'll jump on it.
that sounds
But-
cool.
Promises to have lots of cool diatoms that we can work on.
Wow, and we'll just be streaming all the time.
Yep.
Wow.
But it's looking at all the scientific and natural areas in Minnesota. So,
Sounds pretty cool.
yep. And it's weird and wild habitats.
I guess I'm going to look around some more here.
I'd love to get an internal view of this one if we can find one.
Yeah.
Looks like the stuff isn't really. We've one of the we're located at a field station, and as a result we're on a septic system here, and so we're very cognizant of what we send down the drain here
Mm-hmm.
as a lab. And so one of the things that we've routinely done here is cleaned our diatoms relatively gently.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, what do I want to say? I don't, so I generally just clean them with peroxide,
What the
which I
heck?
can then, I can put the byproducts down the drain and very little, what the heck is that?
I don't know. uh, I don't know what
Whoa.
that is. Yeah, I have no idea what that is actually.
No idea. If anyone knows what that is, type it in the chat. That is weird looking.
It's not a diatom.
I don't think so. It's got a
Yeah.
diatom vibe to it, but my gosh.
We're just out here creating science. No big deal.
Yeah. I've got a belly button.
Yep, it's got an Audi.
Or is that the inside view, so it's an innie?
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It is an inside view. It does look like
What
it's the
in
inside of something.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose I'll take a picture.
Yeah.
Sometime later, I'll be like, I wish I had that weird picture.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Why didn't I
some
push
sort
the
of
shutter button?
crazy cornflake thing. This
I'm
is,
sitting here going through all my silicious organisms and trying to, like, is it a phytolith or is it a...
I guess it could be a phytolith for something very weird. But the good news is I got a phytolith guy, so
Oh, there you go. Send him a photo.
yeah. Anna wants to know how to keep her diatoms alive. She collected some diatoms from Lake Michigan this week.
Oh.
And she has a bunch of diatoma, and she wants to know how to keep the diatoma alive.
Oh. I would open the bag up so it can breathe, or the bottle up, and then put it in a north-facing window of your house or your apartment, and keep it there. And next time you go to Lake Michigan, get a little more water, and then swap out some of the water periodically, and that would do it.
Probably want to
And
agitate it, you know, if it's
Yeah, every once in a
diatoma.
while, give it a good stir. But diatoma's not a well, I guess I'm curious what species it is. So, yeah, but is it Ehrenbergii or is it vulgaris? So, vulgaris is pretty tolerant of lots of stuff. Ehrenbergii is probably needs a little bit of current in its life.
I do great keeping diatoms alive just by sticking them in the refrigerator with no light. I've come back to samples that have been in the refrigerator for like 4 months, and I pull them out and I put them on the microscope, and I'm like, nope, stuff's still living in here. It doesn't care.
It doesn't care.
I tried to explain to my students diatoms are extremophiles, and they're like, yeah, right. And I was like, no, this is from like 5 months ago.
In the
And
dark.
Andy's got all those weird diatoms that don't even have light. He just grows in the dark.
Yeah, heterotrophic ones. What the heck's up with that?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what this is. You stare at it for a while. It's not helping. Probably a phytolith. I mean, they're not usually this dynamic either. They're not usually this small. So, I don't know.
Yeah. That is tiny. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
That's 5 microns, so this whole thing is
Yeah,
20?
that's
10?
tiny.
15 maybe. Yeah, 15 microns. Well, this weighs probably 20.
Yeah. Sounds like it's something to post to the geology nerd site. Like, what is it?
They'd probably be like, show us the outside.
I mean, doesn't it look like an internal view of something?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, it
They
really
don't got any
does.
pores though, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
What
It's your
the
sample.
devil?
You tell me.
Yeah. Well, it's from one of these weird extreme. What number is this? This is pothole 10, right?
10.
That
Yeah,
was
pothole
yeah.
10.
That was it's from Wisconsin. That could explain it.
It's been drinking.
Some of our potholes that we sampled from were like extremely eutrophic. They had very high levels of different nutrients. So it's more like a wastewater treatment plant.
It looks kind of like desmidy, actually.
Yeah.
Now that I zoomed out, but Not enough. Look at this crazy guy.
Look
Just
at that
another
dude,
mustache. External though.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Come on, we need one internal view of this bad boy.
I thought I saw. What's this?
A little.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
I don't know. Maybe
Another-
a sponge
another
spigule
little-
or something.
Another little silica gob of something. Yeah.
Who put this blobs in my sample? Well, that's an internal.
Wonder if you can ever get. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Come on, give us. Let's. Ha! There she blows right there. Looks like it's on that end. Wonderful. Yeah, nice. Yeah, let's get a quick shot of this end with the labiate, and then maybe a broad shot of it too. Oh, nice.
This.
One of the things we were thinking about was whether these forms like this they're called teratologies, and whether that was somehow reflective of how crazy the chemistry and physical conditions in these potholes were. They're weird sights. Some of them are stained darker than a dark roast coffee. And that is why it was saying some of them are just loaded with
Yeah,
nutrients.
they're like wastewater treatment plants.
I mean,
and probably because they're so just isolated, like there's no inputs from like groundwater going into them. It's probably largely precipitation based.
And then have things decaying in them too.
Yeah.
So,
Bug Kitten wants to know, could it just be a piece of a larger diatom? I don't think that thing, whatever we were looking at, was a diatom or a part of a diatom. It didn't have holes. Like, pores that go through the valve are kind of like the feature that... See, these ones, they go all the way through. Like areola puncti, something that goes all the way through. In that one, it was just sort of hyaline, and then it had these like weird caves or, like folds or something in it. But diatoms usually have arranged, organized dots, and so like this looks like a diatom to me. Even if I just saw that much of it, I would know. Whereas the other thing just looked like solid hyaline silica, and it didn't look broken. That's the other thing. It looked like that was its shape, So kind of plant-like, kind of like desmid-like looking, but hard to tell. We find weird stuff sometimes, and I frequently come across stuff I can't identify, like just in samples, and I just go, I don't know. I get paid to do the diatom stuff, so I'm just gonna stick with it, and mysteries can just be mysteries for a while.
sure.
And I see in chat, again, someone's asking if we sampled from road potholes, and these are glacial potholes. So they're natural geological formations from glacial meltwater when the glaciers receded over Minnesota like 10,000 years ago.
I should probably have clarified it somehow, or maybe put something in. I can make commands that will, like, if you type pothole, it will like tell you, like not that pothole, not the one you were thinking of.
Well, these kind of potholes were formed in a sort of a massive glacial river drainage where essentially harder small rocks were captured and spun around and essentially ground a hole into a slightly softer rock. And what remains are these things that look like potholes. They're almost perfectly round. They vary from, I would say 16 inches in diameter to a foot deep and they're filled with water, to the largest ones were what, maybe 15 feet across, something like that.
Yeah, something
And
like that.
and
And like,
one of them's advertised as the bottomless pit, but
yeah, like
we
50.
measured the depth. It was what, 14 feet deep.
Yeah, but the actual thing was like 50 feet, but it was so
Full of junk.
full of sediment that we couldn't reach the bottom.
Yeah.
So Wyatt, are you? Is this a class, or you're just like?
I'm just doing this on my own
Okay.
because I'm interested in it.
You're just
He
close
did
to
it-
the
did it-
field station, and Mark talked you into it.
He lives 2 miles away and reached out about it, and then
That's perfect.
last year he's done it with the science fair program the last couple of years. So
Mm-hmm. So, also planning on coming to that Diatom meeting in January, or?
I haven't even told him about it. He probably should.
Well, what?
What? He says, what?
What is the meeting?
It's in Florida. So at Archbold Field Station in Central Florida, we have a thing called the North American Diatom Symposium. It'll be I think the 28th meeting of it, 28th Diatom Symposium we've had. The first one was in 1970. And we typically have them about every other year. They're often at field stations, and we get, generally about 100 people show up for them, and everyone's doing diatoms.
Okay, yeah.
And it can be it's a very student-centric meeting where the things we do are the first people to do presentations are students, instead of, why have a guest speaker? Let's have the students get their stuff done so everyone knows who they are and hears about what they're working on, so that they can, both relax and enjoy the rest of the meeting, but also everyone knows what they're studying, so you can have lots of good conversations and things. So it's a very fun meeting. It's being hosted by Evelyn Geiser, and you can go to diatoms.org on the news tab, or the pull down menus, and go to news, and I think you can find an announcement for it there.
This is a question in chat about, do the potholes periodically get refilled by river water?
I think they aren't really near, like, they aren't that close to the river that they could be refilled or affected by the river in terms of like getting water input. They're largely just like filled by rainfall, and a lot of them don't have access to like groundwater seeping in. They're just isolated.
And they're found in an area on the St. Croix River, which is a river between Minnesota and Wisconsin, and they're more, so it's in a gorge of basaltic rock, and and they're higher elevation than the actual river level. So you'd have to have a monster type of a flood to actually flood these things with river water, I think. I don't think you could get river water that high where they are. So they were formed in these basaltic cliffs, again, 10, 11,000 years ago, when the glaciers were melting, and this was a absolutely torrential river that was draining Lake Superior, basically. So
You see, there's a follow-up question, which is, how did the diatoms get in there then?
That's a good question.
Well, Mark, what do you think?
So one of the things that we do find some diatoms in here that are what we call soil forms. So they're forms that are associated with, can handle some drying out and things like that. And they probably can just blow around in dust and end up in places like that. The other ones are puzzling, that they're obviously have gotten in there somehow and survived, I would guess many of these potholes freeze completely solid during the winter. And so that they are, the diatoms have to tolerate that and can, I, but it isn't a situation where we see a lot, where we think of introduction of them. So it's a great question and really somewhat difficult to figure that out. Of how, a diet, it's not like there's rivers running into or creeks running by that, are flowing into them. So, ooh, love the girdle bands on that one,
Yep.
Jeffrey.
Yep.
Sweet.
Somehow I get really lucky, I think
Oh,
that's why
yeah,
people
and
keep me
there's the
around.
one there's the one that's tilted on its side. How'd you do that?
I know. I think that's how people keep me around. They're like, "How does he always do this?" I don't know. I just get lucky. This is just luck.
Well, we put the sand grains in, so it would be like a little kickstand.
That's
So,
right. I do know the person who put this stub, who made the stub though. That's me. So,
oh,
there's no there's no one else who can take credit for the arrangement of the diatoms, really. I need to think about what do I want here? I want to go like backwards.
would they
I don't know.
survive uh, digestive tract? Good question. Um, there have been diatoms that have been shown to survive gut passage. What's thought is that organisms like, I'll just say insects or fish, are eating them, and there's oftentimes a bunch of extra carbon or slime on the outside of diatoms that the fish or insects are stripping off, and they just poop out a living diatom. Um, but other things eat these things because they're yummy little sticks of butter full of,
Sugar.
oils and sugars.
Yeah.
And so we get things that want to eat diatoms as well.
Lots of things. They're the base of the food web, really.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
some of the more nutritious form of the base of the food web, which is kind of an interesting, like one of the reasons they probably clone themselves and are so abundant is that they're the preferred food for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And,
One of the things,
that
one of
comment
the
that
things
Mark made is right. Sometimes they've been shown that passing through the gut of fish actually benefits some of the diatoms if they live because they come out with the phosphorus and everything else that was in the fish's gut that's already in a sort of organized organic form that they can maybe utilize. So
one of the things that we didn't study in these systems, we just weren't set up to do it, was what kind of organisms were living in these potholes that might actually be interested in eating diatoms. They didn't seem like they had a lot of larval insects, things like that in them. And so we didn't, we weren't looking for some of the, the small stuff, the ciliates or things like that would go after diatoms. But that would be a really interesting thing to follow up on, is to try to understand, like, what in the world, how does the food web actually work in these really crazy
Yeah.
little potholes?
And I'm going to say that when I was like looking for potholes to sample from, I did see that there were like a lot of smaller potholes that did have like a large mass of hatching mosquitoes.
Oh, okay. So there are some things that those would be eating, potentially eating diatoms.
yeah, Sure Squints a Lot says they've been sampling potholes in the desert and found rotifers in isolated rainfill holes in granites in Albuquerque. A lot of the deltoid rotifers, they're extremophiles. They dry out
Yep.
and they just get blown around in the dust, and we find them in all kinds of places. Here in Indiana, I find them in like lichen on trees and in literally any sample I collect that has moss or has like subaquatic environment. The rotifers they'll just come right back to life if you put the sample in the water.
Very cool.
This is 7-7, we're ready to go. Yeah, there should be some diatoms. They might not be very easy to find in those settings. This sample's got a lot of clay and
Yeah.
silt and stuff in it. And I know this is 10. I know I had when I rinsed it a couple of times here to get the clay out of it. This one still had some stuff standing in it.
Yeah.
But it also is a little sparser than the other ones because I couldn't tell how much I was putting on that was going to be diatoms versus something else.
Sure.
So,
Um,
but
Yeah.
usually if you got like a bunch of other junk that's not diatoms, we would do something like heavy liquid separation to separate out the diatom component.
One of the things that is, and people weren't on when we first started. These are found in two different state parks, one in Wisconsin and one in Minnesota. They're just across the river from one another. But it's a very high touristy area. So, I mean, these are not like, walk 3 miles off the beaten track to find these things. People are walking over and around and things. I think a lot of this mineral stuff is people. So, and then they get lots of plant debris that falls into them. Many of them were filled with pine needles and things like that, and branches and sticks and stuff. And
this is such a nice view.
it is a beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful view.
Yeah, it's working out.
Textbook.
This is sort of interesting. This like the girdle bands are kind of in humps or something.
Yeah,
This must be the other valve. Looks kind of pointy.
I would. Yeah, I would think so.
Or maybe it's just the edge of the girdle
Yep.
band.
Yeah, maybe it's just a girdle that's flicked up a little
Yeah.
bit there. Ah, there. That looks on that bottom end. Is that one hole, the rimel porcelain,
This
maybe?
one?
Yeah.
Like right in the middle? Or this one?
Yeah, that little. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell. We haven't. I don't think we did. We saw a beautiful view of the internal one, but I just not picking it out on one of these. That's a beautiful shot, Jeffrey. Wow. So what grade did Sylvia just finish up?
6th. She's going to 7th. You can believe
Is that a junior high or a middle school she's already in? Or how's that
Yeah,
work?
6th grade is middle school here.
Okay,
So
got it.
she's she's having a fun time.
Nice.
She's got crazy green hair now, with
Oh
like
yeah, I think I've seen a picture or
green
two
and
of that.
red. It's sort of like all kinds of different colors going towards the top of her head. So that's why I think she wanted me to have a pink beard.
There you go.
She wanted me to, fit in somehow with the crazy hair community. Oh, well, look what else I found.
Hello. Oh.
Oh, there's internal views everywhere now.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
now when you can't find one, now they're jumping out at you. That's great.
Oh, some other Eunotia.
Yeah, different species.
It's
There were
traditional.
many, 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 many Eunotias in here. I think our conductivity was really pretty low in these samples, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah.
Some Gomphonemas.
Yeah, there's oodles of Gomphanema in here. Yeah, conductivity ranged from, looks like 43 to the highest one pothole was 370. So, and pHs were, 5 to 6.
Yeah.
A little bit acidic and below conductivity.
There's another one.
Yep.
Well, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Where did that go? Is that a Luticola?
You got one?
Yep.
Oh, hello. Yeah, nice. There's a good aerophilic form.
Yeah.
With a stigma. Very nice.
Mm, pretty good guess.
Yeah, yeah, good job.
Maybe a little over.
Not too bad.
I get picky. There we go. What's this thing?
I'm trying to decide if that's a crack, but it doesn't, it looks too perfect to be a crack. I think it must be a little ridge that's in there. Yeah. Go ahead and shoot a little shot of that if you want.
Yeah, that'll
That's
happen.
that's a cool diatom.
Tighten up this image a little, and then yeah, let's see what it does.
And,
It looks like not a ridge, but like it looks like a
indent.
indented, yeah. Like a
Yeah. I wonder if
a
it's like a
canal.
little, wonder if it's like a little groove that the girdle band hooks into or
oh,
something.
maybe.
I don't know.
Well, we'll just run it up the flagpole and we'll see what happens.
There you go.
Came for star and he's left with pictures of Munosha. Munosha.
Munosha.
The M Munosha. Yeah, Anna, I think maybe 3, because she's going to 7th grade.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So be really interesting. Sure squints a lot if you were to see some diatoms in some of those places you've described there, these little rock pools that, especially if they do dry out and there's diatoms in them, they may be some really funky diatoms. You ever use one of these, Cecilian? Did you use it at that class?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Okay. Did you look at diatoms?
No.
No.
I looked at lichen.
Oh, okay. Was it critical point dried? Do you remember that? I don't know. Remember that expression? Oh, hey. A lot of diatoms.
well, I think I maybe have time for one more photo.
Thank you.
And then I have an appointment at 5.
Yeah, we're cognizant of your time, Jeffrey.
We can definitely either meet later this week again or next week.
Okay. Yeah, maybe
If you guys want to
maybe
send
next
me some
week.
missing samples that you think might be kind of interesting, we can just throw them on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we want to take a closer look at this this orthocyrene.
Orthocyrene, and there's also another like pothole that had really huge diversity of genre
Okay.
of diatoms.
Okay. Very good.
Let's see what else we can find. Maybe something. Oh, well. Have we put names on these Gomphanema yet?
Oh yeah, we've I think a couple of them we have just from the voucher flora that we developed, but we haven't looked at them in gory detail.
This is weird, Unosha.
Yeah, oh, it's all collapsed.
Yep. Just looking through. Company mode. Company mode. Oop. This is a long, skinny one.
On skinny Enosha, yep. Like that one that you just saw. Yep. Lunares.
Yeah, probably.
Dumping ground.
Yeah. For sure.
Yep.
As long as we don't measure anything, that's definitely what it is.
Yep.
Look, somebody stuck a Nitsia in here.
Uh-oh.
Mm-mm. I didn't see it.
A rogue.
It's like a little potato.
Tiny Enosha. All right, how about a outside Luticola? Maybe looks Gonfo though. Gonf shape, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a company one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Much fewer diatoms in this sample.
Yeah, I did 2 different concentrations as well. So
Yeah,
5
yeah.
is also the same. Hang on. It'll either be better or worse. This was slightly different concentration.
Sure. Looks a little thicker, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep. There's our friend, Mustache M.
Some W's. Yep. Well, I guess, yeah, it's an M.
Another one that's collapsed on itself. You see that?
Yep. This is another one. They
What's
look
that?
a little bit like a child's drawing of a seagull. So, you know.
What's that one that internal view that right there?
Here,
What is that?
Delphinema, I think. Yeah, it's a company.
Oh, look it up. Yeah. Or is it a?
Yeah, they look like little seagulls.
Yep. All right, you're 6 minutes away, Jeffrey. Let's. I think we've. I don't want to keep you too long.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's okay.
what is that?
Yeah, I think that's a
Oh.
phytolith. I think it's a piece of a phytolith.
Yep.
Usually, if it looks like it has some shape, but it's not a diatom, I just go phytolith.
Phytolith.
Probably phytolith.
Few sponge spicules that are out there, but
Yeah. When the first time somebody looked at one of those Malawi samples of mine, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's full of phytoliths," and I was like, "Is that what that junk is?"
you just hadn't met that creature yet.
I was like, "What?" I thought they just looked like dog bones. I thought they all looked like dog bones, you know. And I was like, you're saying all of that's phytolith?" They're like, "Yeah, it's all phytoliths." And I was like,
So
"Oh,
cute.
okay." I just thought it was junk. I thought it was like, you know, girdle band pieces or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. And then they were like, "No, these are a bunch of really beautiful phytoliths." And I was like, "If you say so." It's in my way. That's what it is. Yeah. Well, I might also troll around in these and take some pictures for you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Or the next day. We'll see.
Yeah.
Because it turns out I like just looking at diatoms in the SCM, you know. But if I stream it, I'll send you guys a link.
Yeah.
Also, it should record, so I can send you like a replay of it if you want.
Uh-huh.
And then, you know, get back into streaming and talking to people online, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
This has
this
been
is great.
fun.
Yep.
So my
Great.
guests this afternoon were Mark Edlund and Wyatt. I don't know what your last name is.
Aram.
Yeah, there you go. and they're coming to us from Minnesota. Look at this crazy W. And we've been looking at diatoms from potholes, and we'll probably look at some more next week. Some more samples. Yeah. If you guys got time for it, I got time for it.
Yeah, we do.
Every day except probably not Wednesday. Wednesday I gotta eat cake and, blow out candles and stuff. This is, I'm just gonna rotate it around. Oh, maybe. Oops, went flying off the screen. We'll end on a crazy seagull W. There we go.
That's awesome.
And hopefully we'll meet again next week. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I should find some place to send our viewers.
Ooh.
And I'm going to, as soon as I start this picture, I will do that. There we go. And I will talk to you guys later. I'll send you some of these photos as well. So you have the photos. I'll probably put them into the cloud server, Mark, or I might send them to you just directly.
Okay. That's fine. We'll get them downloaded and keep them handy. You're an artist on that thing, Jeffrey.
I try, do my best. Let's see. Let's go to outside of my dashboard. And I'm gonna mute this for a second. And I'm gonna send everybody off to see our friend Danny at Paleontologizing.
Nice.
They're out in the field doing some sort of dinosaur dig, maybe, if I saw that correctly. And yeah. Other than that, until next time, I guess. Good.
Is that a pretty typical thing where you send them off to a new place then?
Yeah. So for Twitch, what we do at the end of the stream is send all the viewers on to some other stream so that they get like a recommendation basically from us about where to go.
Yep.
And Danny's a paleontologist who looks at dinosaurs. He's actually out in the field oftentimes, like doing dinosaur work and digging up bones and stuff. So we'll just send the viewers off there, and we'll see everybody else later. Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you, Jeffrey. This has been great. I think we'll take a close look at both this funky Eunocia as well as that star